Hello, beloved. Welcome to my channel today. I am Anne-Marie Graham, and today I will be reading Chapter 6 of my book, Dreamer, Purpose Lost, Purpose Found, One Girl's Quest to Restore Humanity. My book was published June 2022. If today is your first day here, please go back and listen to the previous chapters. I have already uploaded chapter 1 to chapter 5. Now, I want to apologize because I'm a bit under the weather today, so my voice is a bit raspy. Anyway, let's begin. Dreamer, Purpose Lost, Purpose Found. One Girl's Quest to Restore Humanity by Anne-Marie Graham. Chapter 6, Dreamer Experience, Beginner's Luck. The Buccaneers would host a lavish party in Port Royal every New Year's Eve to celebrate the year's good plunder. Being notorious gamblers, they were always up for a good raffle. This year was no different, except instead of 30 pieces of silver, the lucky winner would be given 30 pieces of gold. Well-off residents and downtrodden workers alike had their mouths salivating at the prospect of winning this fortune. This bounty in the raffle was a destiny changer. Dreamer knew she had to win because this was an opportunity to pursue her big dream. The desire was strong enough in her heart to the point where she went to bed thinking about winning the drawing and what she would say as a thank you after receiving her prize. She did this every day without fail. It was all or nothing for Dreamer. She had no plan B. The ticket for the raffle cost a month of her pitiful wages. Oddly enough, she had no trepidation. The raffle finally arrived, and everyone, young and old, gathered together in the town square. The tension swirling in the air was so thick amongst the crowd that one could even cut it with a knife. The winning ticket was slowly pulled out of a bucket, and the crowd let out an anticipating gasp. But instead of reading it, the announcer garnished a handkerchief out of his pocket to leisurely wipe his forehead while taking a painfully long pause. This riled up the people to a frenzy. They began yelling and screaming. Okay, calm down, he retorted, as he mischievously held up his hands and smirked. The winner is... With that, he took another long pause that the crowd could stand no longer. They started throwing vegetables at him on the stage. Reading the group correctly, that he shouldn't anger them any further, he rapidly concluded with a hearty, Dreamer the nothing. The girl could read a discontented crowd as well. Not everyone is happy when you obtain something they too strongly desire. She hurriedly got up on stage, collected her prize, and gave her speech just as she had imagined several times before. Albeit in a condensed manner, her thoughts had become a reality and not just a fragment of her imagination. It was a weird feeling. The gold should have brought security. Instead, it brought on new concerns. Everyone knew she had it. Would she be attacked? Indeed, she would be staying in a city full of lascivious buccaneers with a destitute population. More terrifying was that she no longer had an excuse to set out on her journey. That very same night, the girl made an exceedingly difficult decision not to return and immediately visited her boss to resign. She owed him this much. The man took a brotherly fondness towards her and was one of the few in the city to show her favor. She arrived through his back office door, cloaked with a shawl pulled over her head as a faint disguise. She found Mr. 95 at his desk and told him that she was resigning. It was difficult to leave a secure job to pursue her big dream, but step out in faith, she must fulfill her life's purpose. "What is your dream?" the boss asked her as he gazed at the girl. "Several years ago, I had a recurring dream. I saw myself strolling through the trails in the countryside of Blue Rhapsody. Everything around me looked desolate, barren, and forsaken. I would then look towards the west and see a very high wall. Suddenly, I heard a voice telling me to climb to the top of the wall and look beyond the sea. I did just as the voice instructed. To my surprise, I found a whole new world existed, a whole new way of life. I saw what looked like metal birds zooming across the sky and little boxes in people's homes that had my picture on them. I also saw buildings and papers with my name on the headlines. I started tearing up in my dream, for I saw my soulmate sitting in the new world, waiting for me on the seashore beyond the very high wall. Where your heart is, there is your treasure. Come to this place and live your heart's desire, was the message I received in my dream. "What happened after that?" inquired Mr. 95. "Each time I was about to jump into the new world, I woke up," Dreamer responded. "At this moment, I do not have a full interpretation of the dream, but what I do know is that the Spirit of the Purpose Giver is up on me because He has anointed me to bring good news to the people. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners, recover sight for the blind, and set the oppressed free. It seems to me as though the metal birds zooming in the sky, the little boxes in people's homes, and the newspaper will be tools to help me fulfill my life's purpose. The purpose giver calls me to save the new world and her people, and my reward will be my soulmate and a loving family. I have fully tasted this experience in my dream." Mr. 95 grew concerned. "You are a young, unmarried woman. You and I both know that many fools have left their job to journey in the unknown, only to return home wounded and disappointed. This is a very reckless trip you are proposing. In Blue Rhapsody, everything is the same. This is the land of the comfort zone, and there are no surprises here. I will give you a raise, and you can work here for as long as you desire." "I do understand, Mr. 95, said the girl. "All the same, I thank you for the opportunities you have given me. But no amount of silver or gold can convince me to stay in Blue Rhapsody another day. My treasure is calling out my name. In fact, I met a gentleman in your salon recently by the name of St. Jude, and he confirmed to me the dream was real. I have zero doubt in my heart that my dream is from the purpose giver. I won't try to talk you out of your prophetic dreams anymore," said Mr. 95. "All the best on your journey. If you ever run out of money, You can always return and work for me as long as you are healthy and capable of doing the job. Thank you, said Dreamer as she walked out of his presence with a smile. 5 minutes later, Dreamer was at the travel center purchasing a ticket to leave the following day on passenger ship Atlantis of the Sea number 8. Thank you, beloved. That was the end of chapter 6. Very interesting. Atlantis of the Sea number 8. Very interesting. Stay tuned. Tomorrow, by God's grace, I will be uploading chapter 7 and chapter 8. And it's interesting. It's going to be very interesting. So subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for tomorrow, chapter 7. Dreamer ventures into the unknown.